the Dutch, and the World Cup. It's football's greatest love story without any happy ending or a love ending, whatever you say. Johan Cruyff in 1974, Van Basten in 1990, Ian Robin in 2010 and 2014. Always the bridesmaid that we call, but never the bride. Three finals, zero wins. But 2026 feels different. Ronald Koeman has a squad that blends the total football DNA with modern athleticism. They don't have a Messi or Mbappe, but they might have someone very better. 11 starters from Europe's elite clubs and no obvious weakness. So today I want to ask, is this the year the Dutch finally lifted or we are destined for more what ifs? And for that we have the biggest Dutch supporter Samyamoy on stream. Sammy, पहले तो इंट्रोडक्शन कैसा लगा, उसके बाद we'll move on to everything.
आ, पता नहीं यार, मतलब आई डोंट नो, इट फील्स 50-50 नॉट वेरी होल हार्टेड, क्योंकि द ग्रेटेस्ट फुटबॉलिंग नेशन टू नेवर हैव वॉन द वर्ल्ड कप, ये मतलब एक साइड से अच्छा है कि वी आर लाइक द ग्रेटेस्ट इन वन कैटेगरी, बट दूसरे साइड से थोड़ा बुरा भी लगता है कि टू हैव नेवर वॉन द वर्ल्ड कप. We have made it to 3 finals previously, 2010 as well, the most recent one. The previous 2 finals, Johan Cruyff, Johan Neskins उस time पे था, and the generations उसके बाद भी जो आए, रॉबिन वैन पर्सी वाला, स्नाइडर वाला, फिर वो रूड होलेट, फ्रैंक राइकर, डीबोर ब्रदर्स, कोमन ब्रदर्स वाला, इतने मतलब वैन बास्टन एक से बढ़कर एक, एडगर डेविड्स, लेकिन वी नेवर रियली गॉट टू विन द वर्ल्ड कप, लिफ्ट द वर्ल्ड कप. तो देखते हैं इस साल क्या होता है, उस पे ही है चर्चा आज. तो लेट्स गो अहेड.
By the way, guys, we are all in orange. Sammy, show them your jersey first, and then we'll.
Of
Of
course,
course, yeah, of
of
course.
course.
He's again, Sammy. Bhai, he's one of the biggest Netherlands fan. So I thought that when I'm doing a Netherlands squad review, why not have him in the stream? So Sammy, let's get straight into the squad here. We'll guys. By the way, we'll analyze the squad. We'll make a lineup, and we'll of course ask Sammy his predictions from this as well. So stay tuned until the end of the video. And by the way, before starting the video, I want to tell that we have crossed 200 subscribers on YouTube. It's a huge feat as of now, because I have only been, as I've said a number of times, only 40 to 45 days here. But 200 is a good mark for me to begin with, and we'll of course get into more of it with all your support. And this is what I ask for. Just leave a like, subscribe, and share the channel, and we'll be bringing you a lot of football content. Sammy, let's start, bhai. Let's start with the
Yeah.
Dutch squad. Let's start with Netherlands squad. I'll read the squad first, guy, bhai, for the guest, and then I'll
Yeah.
analyze. We'll analyze it. So goalkeepers are Mark Flecken, Robin Reeves, and Bart Verbruggen. Defenders Nathan Ake, Denzel Dumfries, Jorel Hatto, my boy, John Paul Van Hecke, Mickey Van de Ven, and Hurrien Timber, Frankie De Jong, Tune Koopmeiners. Okay, Koopmeiners mentioned twice. Never mind. Tijani Reinders, Martins
Yeah.
Deroon, Gus Till, Quinton Timber, and Mats Pfeffer. Attackers are Brian Robbie, Memphis Depay, Cody Gakpo, Justin Kluivert, Noah Lang, Daniel Malin, Crescencio Somerville, Wout Weghorst, and very sorry guys, I've missed Virgil van Dijk from the defenders because the name isn't mentioned there. But
Yeah.
of course, he's the captain of the team and again the most important player of the team as well. Sammy, let's start with the goalkeepers before I remove this squad and bring on the main squad. You start with the goalkeepers, bro.
I mean, nothing much to have a look at the goalkeepers. Very obvious choices, because Robin Roos, Bert Verbruggen, they have proven time and again how important they have been to their club sides in the Premier League. Sunderland and Brighton both having performed exceptionally well in the Premier League. Brighton giving Chelsea that nightmare run, you would know, for the European spot. Sunderland as well, just promoted. Roofs had a massive impact on that as well. Flecken, over the years, I mean, he's turning into a veteran now for the national team. He's one of those squad players, a great squad player, not just has a very imposing presence in the box when set pieces come in. Would be happy to see him be there, a squad player like he is, but I don't think that he's starting. It's gonna be Verbruggen starting. Roof's gonna be the backup. Flecken definitely the third choice goalkeeper here.
My second question to you, Sammy, regarding the goalkeepers only. Don't you think that Verbruggen, who is the starting goalkeeper, has had a I'm not saying a bad season, but a bit average season compared to Roofs or a Flecken, who you might say, because Roofs I have analyzed very closely, bro. I think he's a good goalkeeper. He can represent a very good team in the next coming years or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a maybe a team that needs good goalkeepers, as for example Chelsea can also represent Chelsea. So I kind of feel that Verbruggen, as you said, he will start, but of course Reeves and Flecken aren't bad choices as well. So it's a very good goalkeeping squad according. You feel the same, bro? That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, again, excellent goalkeepers over there. Like I mentioned, Flecken काफी experienced है. Roofs still a very young goalkeeper. उसका breakthrough season रहा है पिछला वाला season. अभी तक उतना देखा नहीं है. एक season he was very consistent for Sunderland. Will be on the radar of a lot of Premier League clubs. I think even might be on the radar for Chelsea because Sanchez has been on and off. So I don't know, not no concrete links, but just an assumption, a hunch. Verbruggen definitely. Bayern Munich have been looking at Verbruggen for a long time now. So a very strong goalkeeping lineup over there. So Roofs, he again definitely a starting candidate for me. Magar Koeman likes to stick to his preferences, his choices, and having said that, रूफ्स को खिला के वर्ब्रुगन को बेंच करना मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोमन वो वाला रिस्क लेगा. तो वर्ब्रुगन ही स्टार्ट करेगा मेरे ओपिनियन पे, और रूफ्स शायद बैकअप गोलकीपर होगा. रूफ्स माइट गेट सम गेम टाइम दो, या फिर 2014 कोस्टारिका मैच रिमाइंड्स मी ऑफ टिम क्रूल. वैसा एक परफॉर्मेंस भी रूफ्स से लाया जा सकता है, क्योंकि एज फार एज आई एम अवेयर रूफ्स का जो पेनल्टी सेविंग परसेंटेज रहा है ओवरऑल वो वर्ब्रुगन से ज़्यादा है. तो अगर पेनल्टी
Correct.
वाला सिचुएशन आता है तो माइट बी रूफ्स कमिंग ऑन फॉर वर्ब्रुगन लेटर ऑन, लेकिन आई सी वर्ब्रुगन एज द स्टार्टिंग कीपर.
Absolutely, bro. Well rounded up. Coming to the defenders, Sammy.
Yeah.
Before I ask you about the positions and everything, of course, Virgil van Dijk plays for your rival in club, but you can't deny the fact. Like anyone cannot deny the fact that he has been an absolute legend for Dutch football, and it is probably his last World Cup. We have seen a lot of last World Cup things, but we haven't seen their last moments. People will know we are talking about. But as a defender,
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk, 34 age. I feel
Yeah.
that this is his last dance. And two words about him, bro, before we move on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's his last World Cup as well, because 34 defender, and most importantly very injury prone as well. So he's a legend of the game, no doubt. He's won everything there is to be won in club football. Magar again, like so many of his predecessors in the Dutch squad, he's yet to get anything with the Netherlands. So that is something. Matlab, anything major, any major
Correct.
tournament wins, like So kind of disappointed about that. Dutch fans have always been disappointed when it comes to international football. FIFA tournaments हो या UEFA यूरो हो, तो कुछ भी हो, नेशंस लीग है फिर भी खैर, मतलब है तो है, वैसा ही है. मगर यूरो और वर्ल्ड कप जैसा तो नहीं है ना. तो वैन डाइक अगेन, हैट्स ऑफ टू हिज सर्विसेज टू द गेम. क्लब फुटबॉल में हो, राइवल है, मगर लाइक मैसिव रिस्पेक्ट टू हिम. नेदरलैंड्स के लिए वॉट एवर ही इज डन, massive impact, massive impact. So yeah, would have loved to have seen more of him in the Dutch squad, मगर unfortunate events. So as it is, अच्छा है, last World Cup ही होगा.
Absolutely. Sammy, if I next come to the kind of players that you have in the defense right now, Ake, Van Dijk, as I said, Dumfries, Hato, Jean Paul Van Hecke, Van de Ven, and Julian Timber. If you see this,
Right.
okay, we'll obviously come to the squad and we'll obviously come to the playing 11 as well. So if you see this defense as a whole, What do you feel about it? Is this giving you confidence that this team has the capability to, to get far into this World Cup tournament as we begin?
See, it's very difficult to take a call on how far they will go just based on their defense, because as strong as that defensive lineup, that defense squad looks, and the midfield looks, the attack seems very very thin right now in terms of options. So how far that will go, they will go. That is an analysis we are benching for now. Let's talk about it a bit later when we have discussed the midfield and forward lineup. But defenders, it's a very strong defensive lineup. All international players, all starters in their club teams. Even Nathan Ake, he plays for City. If he plays for any other Premier League club, I'm 100% sure he's a regular starter. So Dumfries is, Hato definitely is, and even if you look at some of the Dutch defenders who are not part of this squad, Jan Matson, you would know Jeremy Frimpong. So bold decisions from Koeman to leave those two names out, but again, very very strong defensive lineup.
Would have come to that, bro. Like Ian Matson, according to me, has had a shout out to my channel only. Matlab, I talked about Lewis Hall, who was according to me the best right back in the Premier League this season. England के squad में he was not selected, and Ian
Hmm.
Martin also as well for Aston Villa. Matty Cash has been so good in this tournament in Premier League for Aston Villa this season. Ian Martin hasn't received his chances, but he is a very good defender according to you, according to everybody. Guys, we'll
Yeah.
come into the lineup. We'll ask Sammy about the lineup, his formation, everything. Let's come to the midfield or the engine room of this lineup. Again, I'll read it out. So Frankie De Jong, Ryan Gravenberch, Coop Miners, Tijani, Martin Derun, Gustil, Quinton Timber, and Matt Swaffler. So, Sammy, if I ask you first, again, I'll ask you the same question. If I give you a roundup about how this midfield looks like or how forward this midfield might take you in this tournament, what would you say or what would you feel about it?
Very confident. Defense, goalkeepers, and midfield, I'm extremely confident. That is as strong a lineup as it gets, and I can go to the extent of saying that this is a squad, unless you leave aside the forward lineup. If you take into consideration the goalkeepers, the defenders, and the midfielders, this is a squad that is very difficult to beat for even England or France. Even the strongest lineups, even Argentina, again, we saw last World Cup as well. Not much has changed from the last year's World Cup in this squad, in my opinion. Yeah, major tweaks, changes have been there, but a lot of the players have retained their spot. So we saw how Argentina were held back. They had to take it to penalties and then find their win. So even if this time such a situation arises and it goes to penalties, whoever the opposition is, they will find it very difficult to get past Robin Roofs, who has a very very good record in terms of penalties. So midfield, again, as strong as the defense and the goalkeeping lineup looks over here. Very strong midfield. Will come to whoever starts. Very tough decisions await for Ronald Koeman in who he decides to go ahead in the midfield with.
Absolutely. Let's come to the attackers, bro. Now, so
Yeah.
Brian Robbie, Depay, Gakpo, Clivert, Noah Lang, Daniel Malen, Crescencio Somerville, and Wout Weghorst. As you said that you have a lot of confidence amongst the defenders and the midfielders, but when it comes to the attackers and that attack that we have seen in terms of Robin van Persie, Iron Robin, and all, and coming to this attack, where I'm not telling that it's a bad attack, but I feel that it's kind of, it's not that kind of attack that gives you a lot of confidence before you go into a World Cup type of a tournament is what I feel. Yeah. So तेरा भी जानना चाहता हूँ मतलब what do you feel about it?
100% agreed. Again, like I kept mentioning twice before we came into this discussion that uh, the attack looks very thin. You look at the likes of Brian Robbie, you look at the likes of Justin Clivert, you look at Noah Lang, you look at Somerville. These guys are okay. They're just like, okay strikers playing in top European clubs, doing their best. Robbie has been a revelation this season. Hats off to him for Sunderland again. Even Justin Clivert, he holds the record for scoring the most number of penalties for Bournemouth, I think, in a single game. Noah Lang, on and off, Galatasaray has been performing well. And now Crescencio Somerville as well has had a decent season. Not the most loudest, either the most quietest season. But the question arises over here that, like, the lack of a proper number nine that we're used to. Someone like, a very Robin van Persie or a very Marco van Basten kind of a figure. Wout Weghorst is there. He gave Argentine fans nightmares last time around, but consistency is an issue with Weghorst. I don't know how consistent he's going to be in this time's World Cup, because like he's aged 4 years as well down the line. Again, not very confident about the attack, and that is exactly where some of my major predictions for the Netherlands squad this World Cup will be changing. We'll come to that later when we discuss how far I think they'll progress.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Let's come in straight into the lineup.
Yeah,
What you are gonna predict about your Netherlands, of course, starting 11, bro. What formation do you want to play with? First of all,
I'm going for a flat 4-3-3 because yeah, last day
okay,
we
yeah,
discussed like going on the wings with four in the midfield and three at the back. But
correct.
I personally feel Koeman is going to stick to a 4-3-3 and
Let's go with the
rotate
four
that
three three.
midfield. Yeah,
Let's go with the 4-3-3. So Verbruggen in goal, bro, without any doubt.
yeah,
We
without a
talked
doubt,
a lot
he's going to
about
start.
Roofs and Flecken, but I think Verbruggen
Verbruggen
makes the cut.
starts.
Absolutely makes the cut.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Your right back, Denzel
So
Dumfries.
has to be Denzel Dumfries because and that is a cause for concern. Who replaces Dumfries?
Okay, sorry, I
Oh,
missed it. Yeah, I missed
yeah,
it. Sorry. Denzel
yeah, you
Dumfries
got
is
it.
gonna be a very important part, bro. He's always been a very important
Extremely,
part in this Dutch attack.
extremely,
I
extremely.
again feel the same that he will be a very important part in attack, in defense, both. So yeah, your left back, Urian Timber.
No, I'm gonna go for Mickey Van de Ven at left back
Okay,
because I
Van de
think
Ven. Correct,
Van de Ven is gonna get the spot.
correct. Let's go for the centre back pairing, bro. Of course,
Van
Van
Dijk
Dijk and
starts, and I personally feel Timber is going to start alongside Van Dijk,
okay.
or it could be Van Hecka, one of those two. But I'm gonna settle for Timber right now, just based on current form. So yeah, Timber.
Let's go with Timber. So, guys, this is our back line comprising of Van de Ven and Dumfries as the two fullbacks, and Van Dijk and Timber as the centre backs in this lineup. Let's go towards the midfield, bro. So, what do you feel about
Yeah,
the midfield? Of
one of
course.
the strongest starting midfields in the World Cup. Frankie De
Hmm.
Jong starts in the central position.
Hmm.
I'll go for probably Ryan Gravenberg. Plays right. Yeah, Gravenberg on the
Correct.
right. And I
Let's come
see
to the left.
Gianni Reinders starting on the left.
Absolutely, one of the most competent midfield.
Now,
Ryan
the
Gravenberch, to be very honest, has had an average season, but that has been Liverpool season by far. So
yeah.
absolutely it, yeah, absolutely
See
it.
what
Uh,
why I've chosen this midfield trio is because this is going to allow a lot of flexibility to the game for Ronald Koeman, and that is something that he prefers. He can play De Jong a bit, a bit closer to Timber and Van Dijk to marshal that defensive midfield region, or Ryan Gravenberg can also do that bit for him. And what that allows the other one to do is step up alongside Reinders to go forward and help out in attacking. And personally, I feel Gravenberg and De Jong, those two guys, they're going to switch into that central role. And whoever holds that central position in the midfield three, that guy is going to drop a bit deeper down and help marshal
hmm,
that defensive midfield region ahead of Timber and Van Dijk. The other one,
correct.
alongside Reinders, is going to help move the team ahead.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Let's come to the difficult part here. Attack. What do you feel
Uh,
about it?
Cody Gakpo starts on the left, unchallenged. Unchallenged. I'll go
Right.
for Daniel Mallon on the right because dearth of options.
Absolutely changed Roma's faith, brought them into the
Yeah.
Champions League. Daniel Malen has had a brilliant season, by the way. So absolutely deserved starter. And through the middle, who will you play?
Has to be Memphis Depay because I don't know, Koeman has some sort of an uncanny liking for Depay, but personally I would still prefer Weghorst to start. But okay, let's go with Depay. Weghorst can
Brian
play the
Robbie has
super
also
sub.
had a very, very good season, I feel. Brian Robbie has a
Yeah,
good season
he
with Sunderland
has.
as well. But
Yeah, and
it's all right.
fingers crossed. I would like Robbie to start ahead of Depay and Weghorst because he has the legs. Robbie is going to run
Correct.
at opposition defenders. Gakpo is going to
Correct.
help that out. Malin has some sort of skills, but again, the issue with
Correct.
Malin, he has just had a stellar season for Roma, but I am always doubtful of Daniel Malin because he can, he's kind of a player who makes it or breaks it for his squad. He doesn't always hit the net, but again, best wishes for Malin going into the World Cup.
So this is our lineup for the Dutch team, guys. Verbruggen in goal, Van de Ven and Dumfries as the fullbacks. Timber, Van Dijk as the centre back pairing. Tijani, Frankie De Jong and Ryan Gravenberch in the midfield. As Sam said, and I also agree, it can be one of the most lethal, one of the best midfields in this whole World Cup campaign amongst all teams. Cody Gakpo through the right, Daniel Malin through the left, and Memphis Depay centrally. So, guys, this will be a lineup for the Dutch team, and I think it's a very very potent lineup here. I think it's fair enough. We'll come to the our next part, that is basically the predictions, and for it, let me show you, Sammy, what are the group stages matches of this Dutch national team that I guess you will know, but let's just discuss 2 to 3 minutes about it, and then we'll of course wrap it up. So wait, let me zoom in. So Netherlands play Japan, they play Sweden, and they play Tunisia. I think this can be a very dicey, very tricky group, bro.
Yeah,
Because
very.
Japan, as we all discussed, it's our best uh, as Asians, and because our team doesn't play World Cup, and we all support Japan, and we all have a soft corner for Japan, South Korea, and others. So Japan is one team. Sweden, under my ex coach Graham Potter, has been very very good. Uh, a beautiful potent attack here of Lucas Bergwall and maybe and Alexander Isak, uh, Champions League finalist Victor Gyökeres, and it's a potent attack. Sammy, what do you feel about the group here?
Dicey group. One game Netherlands are sure to win is Tunisia. But having said that, the other two games, Sweden and Japan, a lot is going to depend on the Sweden game. Because, I mean, against Japan, I'm not very sure how Netherlands will deal with Japan. Because I said in the stream the other day that Japan can easily, give a very, very tough fight to the likes of Brazil and Germany. And Netherlands falls into that category. Japan this time is a very, very technically gifted squad. They're very strong. They rely on counter attacks, and they're going to test the legs of that Dutch defense. Virgil van Dijk, Urian Timber, those guys are injury prone, and I don't know how fast they're going to cope with the likes of Kubo and all those cool, skillful Japanese players up front. Dyson Maida, those guys. They have to deal with it in a very physical manner. There's going to be a lot of manhandling. I just hope that they don't give away too many set pieces around the Dutch penalty area to prevent Japan from, getting those dangerous balls in, vicious balls in. So that is one thing with Japan. Dicey game. The most trickiest game is going to be against Japan, and any fan, any analyst probably is going to tip either the Netherlands or to Japan to top this group. And it's a 50-50. Honestly, from a die-hard Dutch fan, it's going to be a 50-50 between Netherlands and Japan. Sweden game, uh, Netherlands should get the better of Sweden. Sweden, like Ronald Koeman's teams, they're generally very possession-heavy teams. They like to dominate on the ball. Sweden, on the other hand, they're going to rely on set pieces a lot. So I feel this is a game that is going to be decided on set pieces. You have players like Virgil van Dijk. You have players like Urian Timber. You have players like Mickey van de Ven who are extremely lethal when it comes to corners and free kicks. They can score you goals. They can also defend well when it comes to set pieces. But Sweden have got the likes of Alexander Isak. They've also got the likes of Victor Gyökeres. So those guys are there in the Swedish squad. So yeah, again, but you tipped the Netherlands to win against Sweden. Tunisia, I think it's gonna be a pretty straightforward win for the Netherlands. So that's my prediction for the three games.
Lastly, Sammy, your predictions for Netherlands this World Cup.
Tough one, tough one. Very solid midfield, defense, and goalkeeping lineups. Equally thin attacking lineups. They're missing some very key figures. They're missing out on Javi Simons. They're missing out on Jordi Schouten. Jeremy Frimpong has not been picked. Jan Madsen has not been picked. So even after all that, I would tip the Netherlands to probably at least make it to the quarterfinals. Anything short of the quarterfinals, it is going to be a disappointment. So yeah, fingers crossed, hoping to at least reach the quarterfinals this time around.
This was our Netherlands preview stream for the World Cup, guys. I hope that you liked it. We've got Sammy, and we'll of course get Sammy for a lot of streams. I won't leave him, and I guess he also won't leave me
No,
in a
no.
lot of things. We've discussed a lot of things. We have got a lot of football content for the World Cup coming up. Champions League final is today, so we'll be, I guess, making content about that. And by the way, Arne Slot has been sacked as the Liverpool
Yeah,
manager.
that's
We'll
sad.
of course
That's sad.
we'll
That is
we'll
sad.
of course we'll of course not touch upon that here. We'll discuss it in another stream. So guys, before ending, just wanted to say, like the video, share the video, subscribe, and give your comments as well if you agree with the lineup or not, and if you are actually happy with what we predicted or not. And I think we'll meet you very very soon. Until then, check the fatte, stay fit, and peace out.
Support the